Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about something that could change the trajectory of your life. Something that could unlock doors you've been knocking on for years. Something that separates the successful from the unsuccessful. And that, my friends, is the power of taking risks. You see, life is full of opportunities, but these opportunities are not just going to fall into your lap. They're not going to show up with a bow on top. If you want to experience success, you've got to be willing to take risks. You've got to take the leap when others hesitate, step forward when others sit back, and dare to go beyond what is comfortable. Success is beyond your comfort zone. It's a simple statement, yet it holds a profound truth that many of us overlook. You see, we live in a world where the path to success is often misunderstood. Most people believe that success is something that comes from just being in the right place at the right time, or that it's something that can be achieved by following a formulaic, safe, and predictable process. The truth is, success is not something that can be found by staying within the boundaries of what is comfortable. No, true success lies just beyond those limits, just beyond the edge of where you feel safe, secure, and at ease. The comfort zone is a place where we feel familiar, where things are predictable, and where the risk of failure is minimized. It's the space where we feel in control and where we don't have to deal with the unknown. We're not challenged, we're not pushed, and most importantly, we're not growing. The comfort zone can feel like a place of peace and safety, but that's the illusion. While it feels safe, it is also the place where our dreams, aspirations, and potential go to die. You can't expect to experience anything extraordinary by staying in the same place, doing the same things, and expecting different results. To achieve greatness, you need to be willing to step outside that comfort zone and embrace the discomfort of the unknown. Think about the greatest achievers in history, the trailblazers, the visionaries, the ones who changed the world. They didn't stay within the confines of their comfort zones. They were willing to take risks, to face uncertainty, and to venture into places that others were afraid to go. They knew that success was not going to come by sticking to the same routine or following the same paths that everyone else was walking. They knew that in order to reach their highest potential, they had to push through the discomfort of growth and transformation. Every single person who has made a significant impact in the world did so by stepping outside of their comfort zone. Now, I want you to understand that success is not something that can be handed to you. It's not something that's just going to show up one day while you're sitting comfortably on the sidelines of life. You have to go after it. You have to pursue it with everything you have. You have to take the leap into uncertainty, knowing that the outcome is not guaranteed, but trusting that the process will teach you, stretch you, and help you become who you were always meant to be. When you step outside of your comfort zone, you're forced to confront your fears and doubts. The moment you make that decision to take action, you're immediately met with resistance. That resistance is the voice of fear, the voice of insecurity, the voice that tells you to play it safe, to stick with what you know. But here's the key, that voice is not your ally. It's your enemy. That voice wants you to stay small, to play it safe, and to avoid anything that could potentially lead to failure. But failure is not something to be afraid of. Failure is a necessary part of success. It is how you learn, how you grow, and how you get better. Without failure, you would never know what you're capable of. Stepping outside of your comfort zone is a powerful act of self-belief. It's an act of courage and faith in your own abilities. You're telling the world, and more importantly, you're telling yourself that you believe in your potential. You believe that you can handle whatever challenges come your way, and you're ready to grow into the person who can achieve your goals. It's about trusting that no matter what happens, you will find a way to make it through, to overcome, and to move forward. When you embrace discomfort, you open the door to new opportunities, new experiences, and new possibilities. You stop limiting yourself to the boundaries of what you think is possible and start tapping into the vast potential that lies within you. The world is full of opportunities, but those opportunities are often hidden inside a veil of uncertainty. The only way to discover them is to step through that veil, to take the risk and see what lies beyond. Success is not something that is reserved for a select few. It's not something that only happens for those who are lucky or fortunate. Success is available to everyone, but it requires one thing above all else: the willingness to step outside your comfort zone. You must be willing to let go of the familiar, to let go of the safety net, and to venture into the unknown. And when you do, you'll find that success is not just a destination, but a journey that will challenge you, shape you, and ultimately lead you to the person you were always meant to become. So if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling like your life is too predictable or too comfortable, it's time to make a change. It's time to take the leap. It's time to embrace the discomfort of growth and step outside the box. Because that is where success truly lies, beyond your comfort zone, beyond the familiar, beyond the fear. That when you take that step, you will find that there is nothing more rewarding, more fulfilling, or more empowering than the success that comes from daring to step into the unknown. Risk is the price of progress. That's a truth that many people overlook when they think about success. You see, progress doesn't come easily. It doesn't come to those who stay within the lines or those who are afraid to step into the unknown. No progress comes to those who are willing to pay the price, and that price is risk. If you are serious about achieving greatness, about reaching your full potential, then you must be willing to take risks. Let's be clear about something. Risk doesn't mean acting recklessly. It doesn't mean doing things without thought or planning. Risk in the context of progress is about stepping into uncertainty with confidence, knowing that there may be obstacles, challenges, and failures along the way, but believing that the rewards are worth it. Risk is the willingness to move forward even when you don't know exactly what the outcome will be. It's the courage to embrace the unknown and trust that, no matter what happens, you will grow, learn, and become stronger. Look at every success story you admire, whether it's an entrepreneur who built a business from the ground up, an athlete who broke records, or an artist that changed the cultural landscape. All of these individuals took risks. They stepped outside of their comfort zones, and they were willing to put it all on the line to achieve their dream. These people didn't wait for things to be perfect, and they didn't wait for the fear to go away. They moved forward in spite of the fear. They understood that in order to make progress, they had to take chances. They knew that nothing would change if they continued to play it safe. The fear of risk often holds people back, and it's understandable. It's natural to fear the unknown, to worry about failure, and to question whether or not it's worth it. But let me tell you something, progress does not happen in the absence of risk. You can't move forward without stepping into areas that make you feel uncertain. When you choose to avoid risk, you're choosing to remain stagnant. You're choosing to play small, to stay in a place where nothing changes, where no growth occurs, and where success is always just out of reach. Risk is the fuel that propels you toward your goals. It's the thing that pushes you to take action, to go after what you want. The outcome isn't guaranteed. Progress doesn't happen when you stay in your comfort zone, when you follow the same path that everyone else is walking. Progress happens when you decide to break away from the ordinary and take the first step into the unknown. When you make that decision, you are making a powerful commitment to your future. You are saying that you are willing to pay the price, no matter how high it may seem. And yes, sometimes taking risks means failing. Sometimes it means falling short, not achieving the outcome you hoped for, or facing setbacks along the way. But failure is not the end of the road, it's a part of the process. It's a lesson. It's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to become better. If you're not willing to fail, then you're not willing to take the necessary risk to succeed. Success is not a straight path. It's filled with bumps, twists, and turns, and the only way to navigate it is by taking risks and learning from each experience. Failure is not something to fear, it's a teacher, and it helps you build the resilience you need to keep moving forward. Taking risk also opens the door to new opportunities that you wouldn't have encountered if you played it safe. Opportunities are often disguised as challenges, and those who are willing to take risks are the ones who see them for what they truly are. When you take risks, you're opening yourself up to new experiences, new possibilities, and new people. You're expanding your horizons and breaking free from the limitations that you've placed on yourself. The more risks you take, the more opportunities you'll find, and the more you will grow as a person. Let's not forget that some of the world's greatest innovations came from people who were willing to take risks. Think about the inventors, the pioneers, and the thinkers who have shaped the world as we know it. They didn't stay comfortable. They didn't wait for someone else to take the first step. They risked everything for the chance to make a difference, to create something new, to push the boundaries of what was possible. And because of their willingness to take those risks, we all benefit. Progress is built on the foundation of those who dared to take chances. So if you're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect situation to take action, I urge you to reconsider. There is no perfect moment. There is no guarantee that the road ahead will be easy. But there is a guarantee that if you're willing to take risks, you will make progress. Progress is not about avoiding obstacles, it's about overcoming them. It's not about waiting for the right time. It's about creating the right time by taking action, by moving forward even when things aren't perfect. In the end, risk is the price of progress. If you want to move forward, if you want to achieve something great, you must be willing to pay the price. The price might be discomfort, uncertainty, or even failure, but the reward will be worth it. The progress you make will be your reward, and it will propel you to new heights you never thought possible. So take the risk. Step into the unknown. It's the only way to grow, to learn, and to ultimately succeed. Fear is a natural part of the process. If you're human, you're going to experience fear at some point. It's an emotion that everyone feels, no matter how successful, confident, or experienced someone is. The key to success isn't about eliminating fear or wishing it away. It's about understanding it, accepting it, and learning how to use it in use for growth. Fear is not something to avoid or run from. In fact, fear is often an indicator that you're on the edge of something significant, something that requires you to step outside your comfort zone, something that can potentially change your life. You see, fear has been a part of the human experience since the dawn of time. It's an instinctive response designed to protect us, to warn us of danger, to help us survive. Fear has served a vital role in ensuring our safety and helping us navigate the world. However, over time, fear has evolved. It's no longer just the response we feel when we're in immediate physical danger. Now, we often experience fear when we face new challenges, when we venture into the unknown, or when we're about to take a risk. It's that nervous feeling you get before a big presentation, that tightness in your chest before you try something new, that voice in your head telling you that you're not good enough or that you just play it safe. But here's the thing about fear, it's not the enemy. Fear itself isn't what holds us back, it's our reaction to it that matters. It's how we allow fear to control us or paralyze us that keeps us from achieving our potential. Fear, when understood properly, can become a powerful motivator. It can drive you to prepare more thoroughly, to be more diligent, to focus more intensely. In fact, the best performers in any field, athletes, entrepreneurs, artists, leaders, have learned to use fear to their advantage. They don't let fear stop them, they let it fuel them. One of the biggest misconceptions about fear is that it's something that should be avoided at all costs. Many people believe that in order to succeed, they must wait until the fear goes away or until they feel ready. But here's the truth, fear will never go away completely. Every time you step up to a new challenge, fear will show up. Every time you're about to take a leap, fear will try to hold you back. So if you're waiting for fear to disappear before you take action, you may be waiting for a long time. The key is not to wait for fear to go away, but to move forward in spite of it. Think of fear as a sign that you are pushing your boundaries, that you are growing, and that you are on the verge of something new. If you're not feeling fear, you're probably not stretching yourself enough, you're not testing your limits. You're not taking risks. The truth is, fear is often a companion of progress. The bigger the fear, the bigger the opportunity for growth. Every time you step into the unknown, every time you take on something that challenges you, you will feel fear. But with each step you take, despite the fear, you become stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling the challenges that come your way. Think about the times in your life when you've taken risks and faced challenges. Maybe it was starting a new job, moving to a new city, or speaking in front of a crowd for the first time. In those moments, you likely felt fear. You probably felt anxious, unsure, and even a little overwhelmed. But what happened when you took action anyway? What happened when you didn't let fear stop you? You grew, you learned, you overcame, and you realized that the fear you felt wasn't nearly as powerful as you once thought. It was a temporary emotion, something that passed once you moved through it. And the more you faced your fears, the more capable you became. Fear also has an incredible ability to reveal what truly matters to you. It's often in the moments when we're afraid that we realize how much something means to us. If you're afraid of failing at a new venture, that's a clear sign that it's something important to you, something worth pursuing. If you're afraid of taking a big step in your personal or professional life, it's because it's something that could significantly impact your future. Fear reveals your passions, your desires, and your dreams. And it's the courage to face that fear, to take action in spite of it, that leads you toward success. It's also important to remember that fear is often the result of our thoughts. Our minds tend to magnify risks, imagine worst-case scenarios, and create narratives about what could go wrong. But these are just stories we tell ourselves. The reality is most of the things we fear never actually happen. Fear often lives in our minds, not in the external world. When you learn to recognize that your fears are just thoughts, you can begin to challenge them, to question their validity, and to move past them. Fear is a natural part of the process of growth, is an inevitable emotion that accompanies every journey of progress. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not that the successful people don't feel fear, they do. The difference is that successful people feel the fear and do it anyway. They understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. They know that they can't allow fear to control their decisions or limit their potential. Fear is simply a part of the process, and once you embrace it, once you accept it as a companion on your journey, it becomes a tool that works in your favor. Fear is not something to run from, it's something to move through. And on the other side of that fear, you'll find growth, opportunity, and success. You will learn more from your failures. This is one of the most powerful truths that anyone striving for success must come to understand. Failure is often viewed with a sense of dread or shame, and many people do everything they can to avoid it. They see failure as something to fear, something to run from. But what if I told you that failure isn't your enemy? In fact, failure is one of your greatest teachers, and if you truly want to grow, you need to stop fearing it and start embracing it. The reality is that success is rarely achieved without a series of failures or falling away. You cannot expect to navigate the road to success without hitting some bumps, making mistakes, or even falling short of your goals. In fact, the path to success is rarely linear. There are twists, turns, setbacks, and challenges along the way, and failure is an inevitable part of that journey. The question isn't whether you'll fail, but how you'll respond to it. It's about your ability to learn, grow, and improve as a result of your failures. When you fail, you don't just lose something, you gain invaluable lessons. You learn more about what works and what doesn't. You learn what you're truly capable of, how resilient you are, and how much you can handle. Failure teaches you to adapt, to be flexible, and to keep moving forward even when things don't go as planned. It's through failure that you develop the skills, the mindset, and the perseverance that are required to succeed. You can't learn those things by playing it safe or avoiding challenges. You can only develop them by taking risks, by putting yourself out there, and by failing sometimes spectacularly. Think about the times in your life when you faced failure. Whether it was a business venture that didn't succeed, a personal goal that you didn't quite reach, or a project that didn't turn out the way you hoped. Those experiences have shaped who you are today. They've taught you lessons that you couldn't have learned otherwise. Maybe you've learned that your approach needs to change, that you need to be more prepared, or that you need to approach things from a different angle. Maybe you've learned that you need to be more persistent, more patient, or more willing to ask for help. All of these lessons come from failure. One of the biggest lessons failure teaches us is humility. It reminds us that we don't have all the answers, that we are not invincible, and that there's always room for improvement. Failure forces us to look at ourselves honestly and critically, to recognize our weaknesses, and to acknowledge where we need to grow. This self-awareness is crucial for progress. The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never fail, they are the ones who fail, learn from their mistakes, and continue to grow and evolve. They are the ones who are willing to look at their failures objectively, analyze what went wrong, and take steps to improve. Failure also builds resilience. Every time you fail and get back up, you become stronger. You develop the mental and emotional toughness that is required to overcome obstacles and continue moving forward. Success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about being able to withstand it, learn from it, and keep going. The more you fail and get back up, the more resilient you become. You learn that failure is not the end, but just a part of the process. You learn that setbacks are temporary, and that the only real failure is giving up. As long as you keep going, you're still in the game. You're still learning, still improving, and still on the path to success. Moreover, failure helps you redefine your understanding of success itself. We often think of success in terms of accomplishments, accolades, and outcomes, but true success is rooted in the process. It's about the lessons you learn along the way, the growth you experience, and the person you become in the pursuit of your goals. Failure teaches you that success isn't a destination, it's a journey. It's the progress you make as you push through challenges, face setbacks, and continue to evolve. If you're not failing, then you're not challenging yourself enough, and you're not growing as you should be. Failure, in this sense, becomes a marker of progress. The fear of failure often holds people back from taking risks, from putting themselves out there, and from pursuing their dreams. But the truth is, failure is an essential part of success. You cannot succeed without experiencing some form of failure along the way. The key is to change your mindset around failure. Instead of seeing it as something to be feared or avoided, start seeing it as a necessary part of your growth. Instead of asking, what if I fail? Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Every time you fail, you are given an opportunity to learn, to improve, and to get closer to your ultimate goals. Failure doesn't define you unless you let it. What defines you is how you respond to failure. It's your ability to rise after each setback, to keep learning, and to continue pushing forward toward your dreams. Failure is not the end, it's just a part of the process. Every failure brings with it the possibility of growth, the chance to learn, and the opportunity to become better. And when you approach failure with that mindset, you will find that each failure becomes a stepping stone on the way to your success. You will learn more from your failures than you ever could from your successes, and those lessons will carry you further than you could ever imagine. Taking risk builds confidence. This is a powerful truth that is often overlooked. Many people are hesitant to take risks because they fear failure, judgment, or the unknown. They believe that staying safe and comfortable will help them avoid mistakes and guarantee success. But in reality, the opposite is true. It is only by taking risks that you will build the confidence necessary to succeed in life. The more risk you take, the more you learn, and the more confident you become in your abilities to handle whatever challenges come your way. When you take a risk, you step into the unknown. It's a space where you don't have all the answers, where the outcome isn't guaranteed, and where the comfort of predictability is stripped away. And that is exactly where the magic happens. It's in those moments of uncertainty that you are forced to rely on yourself. You have to trust your instincts, your abilities, and your knowledge. You have to believe that you have what it takes to handle the situation, even if you don't know what the end result will be. When you take a risk, you push yourself to expand beyond your comfort zone, and it is this expansion that builds your confidence. Each time you take a risk and come out the other side, whether you succeed or fail, you gain a deeper belief in your own strength and resilience. Confidence doesn't come from avoiding risk. It doesn't come from staying in your comfort zone and playing it safe. True confidence comes from action. It comes from taking steps, even when those steps are scary or uncertain. When you put yourself out there, when you make the decision to go after something that challenges you, you give yourself the opportunity to prove to yourself what you're capable of. Even if things don't go exactly as planned, you learn valuable lessons that increase your belief in yourself. You learn what works, what doesn't, and how to approach things differently in the future. This process of trial and error, pushing yourself and learning from the experience, is what builds a genuine confidence over time. Consider the first time you did something that terrified you. Maybe it was public speaking, asking for a promotion, or even something as simple as trying a new activity. You were scared, unsure, and you probably questioned whether you had the ability to succeed. But when you took that first step, you learned something about yourself. You realized that you were capable of handling challenges you once thought were beyond your abilities. And even if the outcome wasn't perfect, you still gained something invaluable experience. The next time you face a similar challenge, you'll feel more prepared because you've already stepped through the fear once. The more you take risks, the more you accumulate these experiences, and the more your confidence grows. Moreover, taking risks forces you to confront your fears head on. It's easy to let fear hold you back, to let the what-ifs and could-haves control your actions. But when you take risks, you teach yourself to push through that fear, to move forward in spite of it. With each risk you take, you build your courage and your ability to face uncertainty. And courage is an essential part of confidence. Confidence doesn't mean you never feel fear. It means you are able to act in the face of fear, to move forward even when you're not sure of the outcome. By taking risks, you show yourself that fear doesn't have to control you. You can take action despite it, and this creates a powerful sense of self-assurance. One of the most profound ways that taking risks builds confidence is by showing you that failure is not the end of the world. In fact, failure is a natural part of the process. When you take risks, there will be times when things don't go as planned. You may fail, but failure is not something to be afraid of. Failure is a lesson. It's feedback that tells you what you can improve, what you can do differently, and how you can become better. When you embrace failure as a learning experience rather than a setback, you shift your mindset from one of fear to one of fear. With each failure, you gain more confidence in your ability to learn, adapt, and bounce back stronger. You begin to see failure as a stepping stone, not a roadblock, and this shift is crucial to building lasting confidence. Taking risks also helps you break free from the self-imposed limitations that often hold you back. Many times we place limits on ourselves based on fear, past experiences, or the expectations of others. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we don't have the skills, or that we'll never succeed. But when you take risks, you shatter those limitations. You prove to yourself that you can do things you once thought were impossible. Each risk you take challenges the story you've told yourself about your abilities. The more you challenge that story, the more you expand your sense of what's possible. And this expanded sense of possibility is what fuels your confidence. When you consistently take risks, you begin to see challenges not as threats but as opportunities for growth. You begin to trust yourself more, knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way. You develop a deep sense of self-belief because you've proven to yourself time and time again that you are capable. This confidence is not based on the opinions of others or on external validation. It is rooted in the trust and faith you have in yourself. It's the knowledge that no matter what happens, you have the strength to navigate through it, learn from it, and come out the other side even stronger. The journey of taking risks and building confidence is ongoing. The more risks you take, the more your confidence will grow, and the more you will realize that you are capable of achieving great things. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the absence of fear. The only way to truly build your confidence is by taking action, by stepping into the unknown, and by trusting yourself to handle whatever comes your way. With each risk you take, you are not just building your confidence, you are building the foundation for the incredible future that lies ahead of you. Greatness doesn't come from playing small. It doesn't come from hiding in the shadows or staying in your comfort zone. It doesn't come from living a life of mediocrity or settling for what's easy. Greatness requires you to step outside of yourself, to challenge your limits, to aim higher, and to go after what truly matters. If you want to be great, you can't afford to play small. You have to take bold actions, make tough decisions, and push yourself to be more than what you thought was possible. Greatness comes when you decide to embrace your potential and take the risks necessary to realize it. So often people hold themselves back because they fear failure, judgment, or the uncertainty of what might happen if they aim too high. They set small goals because they believe that's all they are capable of achieving. They tell themselves that they should be content with what they have, that they should settle for good enough. But playing small doesn't lead to greatness, it leads to regret. It leads to a life of what ifs and could have beens. Greatness is not found in the absence of fear, but in the willingness to take action despite fear. It is found in the courage to push past your limitations and pursue something bigger, something that challenges you to grow and evolve. To be great, you must take risks. You have to take chances that push you outside your comfort zone and challenge you to rise above the ordinary. Greatness doesn't come from playing it safe or waiting for the perfect moment. It comes from stepping up, stepping out, and taking action even when the path is uncertain. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who refuse to play small, the ones who choose to take bold steps toward their goals, no matter how daunting those steps may seem. They understand that every great achievement requires effort, sacrifice, and a willingness to take chances. Playing small also means limiting your potential. When you only aim for what feels comfortable, what feels familiar, you're not giving yourself the opportunity to grow. You're not challenging yourself to become the best version of who you are. It's easy to remain in a place of comfort, but growth doesn't happen there. True greatness happens when you step into the unknown, when you stretch yourself beyond what you think you're capable of. When you aim for something bigger than yourself, you force yourself to evolve. You learn new skills, discover new strengths, and develop a level of resilience that wouldn't be possible if you were playing small. Greatness is the result of relentless pursuit, the result of constantly pushing yourself to do more, to be more, and to achieve more. The world is full of people who play small, who choose the path of least resistance, who are content to stay within their own bubble. But that's not where greatness is found. Greatness is not found in complacency. It's found in the fire of ambition, in the pursuit of something greater than yourself. Greatness is not about playing small and hoping for the best. It's about stepping up, taking responsibility for your future, and choosing to play a bigger game. Greatness comes when you decide that you're worthy of more, when you stop accepting mediocrity and start demanding excellence from yourself. One of the biggest barriers to greatness is self-doubt. We often play small because we don't believe we're capable of achieving anything bigger. We tell ourselves that we're not good enough, that we don't have the skills, that we're not worthy of success. But the truth is, you are more capable than you give yourself credit for. Your potential is far greater than you've allowed yourself to believe. Every time you choose to play small, you're limiting yourself. Every time you hold back from going after your dreams, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not capable of greatness. But greatness doesn't come from believing you're perfect or from waiting for the right moment. It comes from taking imperfect action and believing in your ability to figure it out along the way. If you want to achieve greatness, you must stop settling for mediocrity. You must raise your standards and hold yourself accountable for your growth. You must surround yourself with people who push you to be better, who challenge you to aim higher, and who believe in your potential, even when you doubt it. Greatness doesn't come from being surrounded by people who tell you it's okay to play small. It comes from being around people who challenge you, who encourage you to push past your limits, and who support you as you strive for something greater. To achieve greatness, you must also be willing to embrace failure. Failure is often seen as something negative, something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is a crucial part of the journey to greatness. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of success. It's through failure that we learn, grow, and develop the resilience necessary to achieve great things. When you play small, you avoid failure, but you also avoid the lessons that come with it. Greatness is found in the willingness to fail, to get back up, and to keep going. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They understand that failure is simply a stepping stone towards success. Ultimately, greatness doesn't come from playing small, because playing small is not the path to your full potential. When you play small, you limit yourself, you hold yourself back from achieving what you're truly capable of. To achieve greatness, you must take risks, embrace failure, and challenge yourself to grow. You must set your sights on something bigger than yourself and go after it with everything you've got. You must stop settling for mediocrity and start demanding excellence from yourself. Greatness doesn't come from staying comfortable, it comes from stepping outside of your comfort zone, from pushing past your fears, and from pursuing your dreams with relentless determination. So stop playing small, step up, take action, and become the person you were meant to be. Opportunities don't wait for perfection. They don't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, or the perfect conditions. Opportunities come when they come, and if you aren't ready to seize them in the moment, they can slip away. Waiting for everything to align perfectly is often the biggest obstacle standing between you and success. The truth is, perfection is an illusion. No matter how much you prepare, no matter how much you plan, things will never unfold exactly the way you envision them. If you spend all your time waiting for everything to be perfect, you will miss out on countless opportunities that could have changed your life. When opportunities present themselves, they don't come with a guarantee. They don't come wrapped up in a neat little package with every detail accounted for. Instead, they come with a certain level of uncertainty, with unknowns and risks. Opportunities require you to take action in the face of imperfection. They demand that you move forward even when you don't have all the answers, even when the path ahead is unclear. If you wait for everything to be flawless, you might be waiting forever. The most successful people aren't the ones who wait for perfection, they're the ones who take action despite uncertainty. They take the opportunities that come their way even if the conditions aren't ideal, and they make the best of what they have. In reality, waiting for perfection often leads to inaction. It's easy to get stuck in the mindset that you need to prepare more, do more research, or wait until everything is aligned before taking the first step. But this constant preparation can keep you from making progress. It can paralyze you with the fear that you're not ready or that you're not good enough. The truth is, you'll never feel completely ready. There will always be something more you can learn, something more you can refine, and something more you can improve. But if you wait for perfection, you may never move forward at all. Opportunities pass by when you hesitate, when you get caught up in the pursuit of perfection instead of embracing progress. Taking action, even when things are not perfect, is what leads to growth. When you step into an opportunity, even when it's not flawless, you learn by doing. You discover what works, what doesn't, and how to improve. Perfectionism is often rooted in fear, the fear of making mistakes, the fear of failing, the fear of looking foolish. But failure is an inevitable part of life, and it is through failure that we learn, grow, and improve. Each time you take action, even in perfect circumstances, you gain valuable experience. You learn how to adapt, how to handle challenges, and how to keep moving forward in the face of obstacles. Opportunities don't wait for perfection because they are meant to teach you, to stretch you, and to help you grow. They are not waiting for you to be flawless. They are waiting for you to take the first step, even if that step is imperfect. Another important truth is that perfection is subjective. What one person sees as perfect might not be the same for someone else. The idea of perfection is often based on comparison, comparing your progress to someone else's or measuring your work against an idealized version that may not even exist. But this kind of comparison can hold you back. You might think that until your work is at a certain level, it's not worthy of being shared or pursued. But this is a trap. Perfectionism keeps you stuck, and in the process, it stops you from taking advantage of opportunities. The reality is that most people aren't looking for perfection. They're looking for progress, passion, and authenticity. Opportunities are about taking action, learning along the way, and being willing to put your work out there, even if it's not perfect yet. No one achieves greatness by waiting for everything to be perfect. Greatness is achieved by taking imperfect steps, by moving forward despite uncertainty. When you decide to take action, regardless of whether things are perfect, you begin to build momentum. You start to build confidence in your ability to handle the challenges that come with each new opportunity. Every step you take, even if it's not perfect, brings you closer to your goals. It's through these imperfect steps that you begin to refine your skills, clarify your vision, and grow into the person capable of achieving great things. Success is not about waiting for perfection, it's about taking continuous improvement. When you take action, you create momentum. You start to see results, and with those results come new opportunities, new lessons, and a new level of understanding. Waiting for perfection keeps you stagnant, while action moves you forward. Ultimately, the pursuit of perfection can be a form of self-sabotage. It can prevent you from making decisions, from taking risks, and from putting yourself out there. The longer you wait for the perfect moment, the further away success can seem. When you embrace imperfection, you open yourself up to the possibility of progress. You realize that the perfect moment doesn't exist, and the best time to act is now. Opportunities come when you're willing to take the leap, when you're willing to embrace uncertainty, and when you trust yourself enough to take action even when things aren't perfectly aligned. If you want to seize opportunities, you have to be willing to take imperfect action. You have to stop waiting for the stars to align and start taking the steps that will get you closer to your goals. You don't have to be perfect to succeed, and opportunities don't wait for perfection. They wait for you to step up, take action, and do your best, even if your best isn't flawless. The more you embrace imperfection and take action despite it, the more opportunities will come your way. Success is not found in waiting, it's found in moving forward, learning along the way, and seizing opportunities as they arise. The biggest risk is not taking one. It's easy to think that avoiding risk is the safest option, that staying in your comfort zone will protect you from failure and the uncertainties of life. But the reality is that inaction, complacency, the avoidance of risk often lead to far worse outcomes than taking the chance and going after what you want. When you avoid risks, you close yourself off to the opportunities that could change your life. You limit your potential, your growth, and your chances for success. The true risk lies not in stepping outside of your comfort zone, but in staying where you are, too afraid to take action and too fearful of what could happen if you fail. The world around us is filled with opportunities, each one offering the potential to learn, grow, and achieve something extraordinary. But those opportunities won't wait forever. If you're not willing to take the risk of going after them, someone else will. And the longer you wait, the more you miss out on the chances that could have transformed your life. In many cases, the opportunities that seem the most intimidating are the ones that hold the greatest rewards. The risk of trying something new, of stepping into the unknown, may feel overwhelming, but it is in that very uncertainty that the magic happens. The most successful people in the world didn't get to where they are by playing it safe. They took risks that led to failure, learning, and ultimately success. By avoiding risks, you are choosing to stay stagnant. You are choosing the comfort of the familiar over the potential for growth. And while that may feel safe in the short term, it creates a much bigger problem in the long term. When you fail to take risks, you prevent yourself from evolving. You remain stuck in the space with the same limitations and the same level of success or lack thereof. Life doesn't stand still. It's constantly moving, constantly changing. And if you're not taking risks, you're being left behind. You may not realize it, but every moment you spend avoiding risks is a moment you could have used to move forward, to make progress, and to get closer to your goals. Taking risks forces you to grow, to step into new roles, and to face challenges that push you beyond what you thought you were capable of. It's through risk that you build resilience, confidence, and a deeper understanding of yourself. Every time you take a risk, even if you fail, you learn something invaluable. You gain experience that helps you handle future challenges with greater skill and wisdom. Without risk, there is no opportunity for growth. And without growth, there is no path to success. The fear of failure is one of the main reasons why people avoid taking risks. They believe that failing means they are not good enough, that they are unworthy of success. But failure is not the end, it's just a part of the journey. Every successful person has faced setbacks, rejection, and mistakes. It's how they dealt with those challenges that made them successful. Taking risks may lead to failure, but it's also a chance to learn, adapt, and come back stronger. In fact, failure is often the greatest teacher. It shows you what doesn't work, what you need to improve, and how you can do better next time. Without failure, you miss out on the lessons that can shape your future success. The biggest risk is not taking one, because without risk, there is no real opportunity. If you don't take the leap, you'll never know what you're capable of. You'll never know what could have been if you had just taken the first step. The pain of regret is far worse than the fear of failure. Imagine looking back on your life and realizing that you never tried, never took the chances that could have led to something amazing. Imagine wondering what would have happened if you had stepped up, taken that risk, and pushed through the fear. That regret will stay with you much longer than any failure ever could. Life is about taking chances, embracing the unknown, and pursuing what excites and challenges you. It's about pushing through your fears and stepping into the discomfort that comes with trying something new. The biggest risk is not taking one, because in doing so, you deny yourself the opportunity to grow, to achieve, and to live the life you've always dreamed of. It's easy to stay in your comfort zone, but true success comes from stepping outside of it, from taking those bold steps toward the unknown, and from trusting yourself enough to handle whatever comes your way. If you're not taking risk, you're not living to your fullest potential. The opportunities that come your way may seem risky, but they are also your chance to change your life. If you're willing to embrace the fear, step out of your comfort zone, and take the risk, you will discover a world of possibilities that you never imagined. The biggest risk is not taking one, because it is only through taking risks that you unlock your true potential, find your purpose, and create the life you deserve. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the leap. The reward on the other side is worth it.